Hey there everybody, it's me Swankivy and I'm back with the Asexual Top 10. Today will be number 4 on the list of things that people suggest are really the reason for my asexuality rather than I'm asexual. If you need more info than that, check out the introductory video because I'm not going to go into it in this one. Okay, so let's see. I'm in a corner because, well, I'm running out of interesting places to broadcast from. I'm trying to be all cool and have a different, interesting looking background of some kind in all my different videos, but there's only so many locations of interest in my little apartment, so you're going to have to deal. I'm broadcasting from the corner. But I have interesting stuff behind me. This is my Flower Fairies stuff collection. I collect Cicely Mary Barker's artwork. And let's see, what else is interesting? I'm wearing my shameless promotion of my -1 t-shirt, which -1 is my webcomic, and everybody should go read it because it's awesome. I'm babbling a lot because I have lots of time. This is going to be a very short video because we're on number 4 today, and number 4 of the Asexual Top 10 is a very simple answer. So let's go into it, shall we? Number 4 on the list of things people suggest are the real reasons for my asexuality. Well, I'm asexual. No, you're not. You were sexually abused. Okay, as you can imagine, I hear this one a lot. We're at number 4 now, so now that we're close to the top of the top 10, these are things that I hear all the time. So, you were sexually abused. Okay, what's my answer? No, I wasn't. Okay, just kidding. It's not going to be that short. I have more to say on the subject. Let's see. I was not sexually abused as a child, to my knowledge. If I was, of course, it's something that I've completely blocked out, but I don't have any evidence of traumatic experiences in my young childhood or anything like that. So, kind of leads me to believe that there was no such thing. Of course, even though most of the people say that they're suggesting I had some damage when I was a kid, some of them also want to know if I've been raped or sexually assaulted or sexually harassed or anything like that. And the answer to all of that is no. No, I've really been pretty, gotten off pretty scot-free. I guess the reason that people say this so often is that it's such a horrifying idea to them that a person would not be interested in sex, that something terrible must have happened to me to stop me from wanting it. And, that's because their philosophy of what's going on here is misunderstanding the source. They assume that I have desire, but it's blocked by, fear or some trauma or shame or something like that. But there's no blocked desire. It's that desire never surfaced. So, let's see. I guess the closest thing to sexual molestation that I ever experienced was when I was a little kid. I was maybe 5 or 6. I was in kindergarten, and it was nap time, and I was on my mat, and the little kid who had the mat right across from me just one day randomly crawled over and got on top of me, and he put his face down on my face, like kissed my lips. I guess he wasn't really kissing me, but he put his lips on my lips, and he put his hand in my pants. And, I was like, oh crap, what's he doing? So I pushed him off, and I got the teacher, and the little boy spent his future nap times where the teacher could see him. And, I remember, I remember that happening, and I guess I told my mom and all that other stuff, but it was not connected to sex in my mind. I remember all of it, and I don't think of it as like a horrifying experience or anything. I think it probably would have upset me about as much if he had stolen my blanket or something. I didn't very much like being harassed in school, so who does? There was one time when I met, when I was in college, I met a boy that, I had some things in common with, so we had met on the internet, and so we went and talked in a cafe. And, I have done that plenty of times without ever having something stupid happen. But this time, I started talking to him about my take on sexuality and whatnot, and I told him like the medium to long version of the asexuality story, and he seemed to understand and get it and everything. But then at the end of the night, he wanted to kiss me. He said, hey, let's have a good night kiss, and I was like, were you not listening? So, we went around in circles for a little bit until finally he said he'd be satisfied with a kiss on the cheek, and I'm like, okay, I guess so. So, he leaned over to kiss me on the cheek, and what he did was he licked my face like a dog, and that was pretty unpleasant. So, maybe that is close to sexual assault of some kind, and obviously I was not happy, and I don't talk to him anymore. But, I think what you have to understand is, first of all, at that point, obviously, considering the context there, the asexuality thing was already going on, and secondly, I don't freeze in horror or, freak out when I think of sex or anything involved in it. It's not a negative feeling, it's just a disinterest. And, I know that there are some people who are asexual, and they say that the idea makes them want to puke, or, that it does gross them out. But me, I'm pretty sex positive for an asexual. I'm open to the ideas, and I think it's great when people can find a sexual relationship that makes them very happy. But as long as they leave me out of it, I don't have negative feelings toward it myself. Except what you do have to understand is it can start to become negative if someone won't stop. If someone keeps trying to pressure me into it, or forces it on me or something. So, you can probably imagine that it doesn't feel good to engage in those things if you weren't interested in it. And I think that people jump up and down and point and say, like, you have negative feelings, you must have some kind of trauma in your past, because you feel like that when confronted with sex. And it's like, well, I'd like to ask those people, which, let's say that since I'm sure most of the people who have suggested that to me have been heterosexual men. Say you're a heterosexual man, and a homosexual man comes up to you and starts chatting you up and tries to put his hand on your butt. Maybe you didn't have any negative feelings toward homosexuals, but you know that you're not one, and you've never felt interested in one. So when one comes up and tries to harass you, which you would probably take it as harassing, you would have a negative feeling. You would have anything from mild disgust to, wanting to beat the guy up. So for me, it's like, I don't have any attraction to a person, so it's not going to feel good if they lean down and kiss me and make me interact with their saliva or something. It's kind of yucky when it's a person you're not attracted to. And since I'm not attracted to anyone, then of course the whole concept of kissing and anything else, all the way up to and including sex, would be negative, would be unpleasant to me, because it's not what it is to other people. So, I guess that's really all that I can say about that, because I have no history of abuse that I know of, and I don't act like a person who has been abused. So, I think my attitude towards sex, all things considered, is pretty healthy. And, so I'm going to be fine for the rest of my life, just kissing the cranberry juice bottle.